Jesselyn Radak, how much do they risk in speaking out on Democracy Now! Today?
They're taking an enormous and very brave public risk in speaking out. I have clients in the national security and intelligence communities who've done nothing more than tell the truth about some of America's darkest secrets, like torture and secret surveillance, and now in this case, drones. And those clients, a number of them, have been prosecuted under the Espionage Act. And Edward Snowden, of course, another one, is living in exile. Not because they've done anything wrong or even revealed classified information, which they're not here to do today, but because they have embarrassed the U.S. government. All of these men, a number of them, half of them, have complained internally to no avail. They've gone through internal channels, and we're hoping that today, by going public, that this will have more of an influence in the debate, because somehow there's a complete disconnect between these terrorist attacks in Paris and elsewhere and the fact that the drone program has fueled ISIS and al-Qaeda and a number of terrorist groups, and that really needs to be addressed.
And I'd like to ask Brandon Bryan, we've had you on Democracy Now! A couple of years ago, and these guys here worked with you as well. Can you talk about the decision to come out as a group, how you came to that and why at this particular point?
Well, you know, when I first started talking out about my experiences, it was more to get a bunch of stuff off my chest and to actually try to come clean with what I've done and reveal what exactly is going on. And I'm actually really honored to be with these gentlemen right here, is that I trust them, and this is their decision to come out, and I'm here to support them because I've already been doing this for 3 years, and it's time that we just get a bigger coalition of people together to attack this issue.
Why did you sign this letter, and what are you calling on President Obama to do?
We want the president to have more transparency in this issue, and we want the American people to understand exactly what's being done in their name. And I think that all this fear and hatred that keeps going on and is just out of control, and we need to stop it somewhere.
Michael Haas, I wanted to ask you, in terms of your experience in the drone program and the culture that the military basically allowed to flourish in the drone program. You've talked about how your fellow service members talked about the children that they were targeting as well.
Yes, the term fun-sized terrorist was used to just sort of denote children that we'd see on screen.
What was it?
Fun-sized.
Fun-sized terrorists?
Yes. Other terms we'd use would be cutting the grass before it grows too long. Just doing whatever you can to try to make it easier to kill whatever's on screen. It's and the culture is that mentality is very much nurtured within the drone community, because every Hellfire shot is sort of lauded and applauded, and you don't really examine who exactly was killed, but just that it was an effective shot and the missile hit its target.
When did you start to have questions?
Shortly after I became an instructor, and I started to see how much the mentality had shifted since I had been in. And the 11th hadn't really changed how they had trained their sensor operators from a basic level standpoint.
The 11th is?
The basic training squadron up at Creech. They train all the sensor operators.
This is at Creech in Nevada?
Yes.
And you were a video game addict as you were growing up. You talk about this whole impact of sort of the video game approach to war.
The thing that makes gamers a prime target for this job field is that ability to just multitask and do a lot of things subconsciously and just sort of out of reflex, and you don't really even have to think about it, which is paramount to doing this job. But a lot of it is getting used to just seeing something on screen, killing it, and then going about your business as though you don't really pay it a second thought.